Okay, it's Monday at 6 PM on November 13th, and I'd like to bring the meeting of the Douglas Board of Health to order. First on the agenda, if I have the agenda, do I have the agenda? Yep. We have 4 summer court waiver requests. Margaret Bacon. Margaret, where's summer court?
It's off of, it's one of those private roads off of Bigelow.
Off of Bigelow.
Yeah, if you go down Bigelow Road,
Where is Bigelow Road?
it's off of Oak Street.
Oh, okay, okay.
Right past the campground, that's Oak Street, then there's Bigelow Road that goes down to the lake, and it's a small little private road off of Bigelow Road.
Thank you.
So it is a lakefront
Right.
property.
Interesting setup here, huh?
Yeah, so just briefly, a system was put in back in 2016.
Okay.
And it was those infiltrator, low-profile systems which seem to be having a high rate of failure. So what we're doing,
Now, that was strictly a gravity system, is that what it was?
it's a pump. No, actually,
No, before.
no, it was a pump
It was a
before
pump
that. Oh,
before.
yeah.
Oh,
You got the house here. We have the lake, the house, and the only place to put a septic
Oh, okay.
is up here.
I didn't look at the elevations, but yeah.
Yeah, there's quite an elevation change between the house and the septic.
Okay, yeah, I see, yeah.
Yeah, so the existing septic tank and pump chamber is gonna stay,
Okay.
that's down next to the house.
Right.
It's just the leach fields, we're gonna remove the low-profile infiltrators and put in a Presby system.
Okay, yeah.
So we still have the well issues because it's a, small lot and, between the neighbors' wells and our well, you can't stay 100 feet away.
Okay.
So apparently, I guess, I did get contacted from one of the neighbors, Mr. Norman, who mentioned the last time we went through this process, or they went through the process, it was brought up that the well would be tested. Adjacent wells and the homeowners, the property owner's well, which sometimes is not a bad idea before you start construction, so you have that benchmark. So you can tell if things get worse or better. I would imagine things will probably stay the same. I can't imagine these are affecting any wells, but it provides the benchmark, so if things do get worse, and it kind of protects the homeowner too,
Right. So which is the closest well to the...
The closest well, the closest well is our well, okay? We're just outside, we're about 52 feet away from our well, okay? And then the neighbor's well, Norman, he's about 80 feet away, okay? If I had to put a scale on it. So he's about 80 feet, the closest point is 80 feet. And then the property owner to the right, he's about like,
Just barely glancing.
he's just barely touching it, so he's like about 95 feet.
Yeah, okay.
So,
And
and what I also did too, the Presby Enviro septic system, there's another type you can use, it's called the advanced, which gives you a little more wastewater treatment than the regular. So
how was that?
they have additional fabric inside these Presby systems around round tubes. I call them like snakes. They go back and forth.
I've seen them, but I don't know.
Yeah. So the Advance has a different type of fabric in them that's supposed to help generate additional bacteria. So you get additional water treatment. So they claim.
Yeah.
So if all the systems, without getting into these crazy recirculating sand filters, the Presby system is typically the best,
Yeah.
for wastewater treatment.
Sure.
And we run into this quite a bit in Millville because they don't have any town water, and there's a lot of, especially in the center of Millville, you get a lot of septics and wells, so we run into that quite a bit down there.
Right. Now, as far as inspections go, yearly inspections, how is that going to work? Who's responsible for?
I was just talking to Kristen that, we should have that recommend or condition that before construction, they test the wells.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have a benchmark.
Okay, before, right.
Yeah, and then a year from now, test them again, and then make a determination if anything else is needed. I would hate to have to commit to a yearly basis
Yeah.
for testing well, especially if there is no change in a year.
Okay, but, sometimes a year is, I don't know if it's enough.
Well, you could do for the next couple of years.
I suppose,
And
yeah.
then just make, until the Board of Health determines that it's not necessary
Yeah.
anymore, or,
I just would hate to see it affect that area,
Right.
the other wells in that area. So how does Steve feel about this?
well, I know he approved the plan. I don't think he had any comments on it.
No?
No, because it was already approved once, and what we're doing now is an improvement over what was originally designed.
Yeah.
Because right now, they got a failed system.
Right.
Already, huh?
Yeah, it's only
Yeah.
6 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Those low-profile
So
systems.
the dual pumping system was the previous system, right? That was part of the previous system?
Yes, so nothing wrong with those tanks, so.
No. And it pumps up to the D box?
Yeah, and the thing with the Presby systems, and I've revised the dosing on the pump chamber so that they dose smaller doses. So
Okay.
you're dosing about 6 times a day, little
I
doses.
see.
Instead of right now, they probably have 100 gallons going up there at once.
Oh, yeah.
And that doesn't help either.
Heck, no. How you guys feel about it?
As you said, it's an upgrade,
Yeah.
better than existing.
Oh, yeah.
There really isn't no other, sites like this, that there is no
I
other
know.
options,
I know.
they kind of,
No, it's either that or a tight tank. that you
Yeah,
pump
no,
every-
a tight tank is a horror show.
Yeah. it's a
Yeah.
nightmare.
That is a horror show.
It's a nightmare, so. I don't know, I mean, if they're gonna test the well every 2 years, then that'll be a pretty clear indicator how things are working.
Hmm.
actually, the neighbor, he said his well wasn't real deep. So that's why he had concerns.
Oh, he has it's not a shallow well.
No,
Still
no,
in
but he just said it wasn't that deep.
Oh, okay.
You gotta remember too, systems of old used to be the cesspools that were right in the groundwater.
Yeah, right.
Now, these things are way up near the surface.
Oh, yeah.
you know. So I doubt very much by the time, underneath these, I've never seen, of all the septic repairs that I've seen,
Yeah.
they leach, but, you only see about a foot below the system.
Sure.
2 feet the
It's
max,
gray
right?
dirt, and then
Yeah,
it
yeah,
starts to disperse a little bit.
correct. So,
Yeah,
that's it.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's an improvement on what's there, so optimistically, it should be better, right, than
and,
anything else, so.
That's the idea.
yeah, that's the,
I guess I'll ask the question, so what if it's not? So what if we do a baseline test and it's worse, then what are the options?
well, a baseline, if it's worse, and so you're getting septic from somewhere,
Mhm.
okay? So right now, we have a failed system. So what would happen is, when they remove the old system, then all that old contaminated soil's going too.
Mhm.
And then you're putting in a whole new system with new sand. I
If
mean,
it-
and
if
if
it
it
fails-
continues to get worse, I mean, next year you do another water test and it gets worse, and,
Well, then we, yeah,
Then they go
so,
back to-
I guess, so,
back to the drawing board.
but is it coming from this system, or is it coming from somewhere else,
Right.
too? You
That's a
know?
possibility, because the places there are very close together.
That's correct, so I don't know what type of system Mr. Norman has,
Yeah.
but, you know, usually if there'd be contamination, you want to look at the cesspools that are really right in the groundwater,
Right.
you know?
Well, if this is an improvement, if we tested the water now and then retest it in a year after construction and give the system time to settle, then you would assume that the next test would be less if there was.
Yeah.
If there was a problem from the
Yeah,
system.
From
But
the
we-
system.
And honestly, you know, when I think about what do I want to say? The other lake.
Well,
Yeah, Wallen Lake Terrace. That's,
There's
you know.
no
kind of a-
space down there.
Oh, yeah, you know,
Yeah.
the problem is, you know, you know,
Yeah, I know.
it's summer cottages and now
Oh, yeah.
they're year-round
Oh, yeah.
houses, it wasn't meant for
No, they
that.
were never meant to do
No,
that.
no, so I've done a lot of septics up there and just,
I've seen
the
them.
gymnastics you gotta do to get them to
Yeah.
fit, you
That's
know,
right,
and
that's
it's
right.
just,
And, you know, what are we gonna do? Of course, it's an improvement. That's what we have to look at.
right.
You know, we really have to look at it that way.
Well, it is an improvement, and
It
it's
is,
just,
it
just
is.
like in Wallen Lake too, you know, and then the terraces, it's all those cesspools.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
dozens of cesspools that, one by one, are slowly getting replaced to these systems that are now
Right.
much higher up and out of the groundwater.
Sure, yeah.
So-
Yeah,
But years ago, when they built those things, it was summer cottages,
right,
you know?
yeah. Your hands are tied, really, when you come right down to it. You're limited to what you can do.
Yeah, well, I look at all the ones I did up at the Wallen Terrace, and I've done quite a few. I would say, yeah, that's definitely a big improvement over, you know,
Oh, yeah. Oh,
what was there in the
I
cesspools,
mean,
you know?
I used to cringe when we would approve like a tight tank.
Yeah,
I just cannot, I can't, no.
yeah, there's
A lot of
a,
work,
Yeah,
a lot
and
of pumping, a lot of money.
a lot of money, yes, yes. But I feel comfortable with it. You know, I think that, especially with Steve feeling comfortable about it too.
So what's the variance, just the offset to the wells?
correct. So since I'm asking for offset to wells, I can't ask for offset to groundwater.
Mhm.
So that's why the system stays on. I can't ask for both.
No.
Well, I have asked for both, but it's all right on Wallen Lake Terraces, but I need a variance, and I've got no other option, so, but not here, we don't need to do
We
that.
appreciate your presentation. I mean,
Okay.
You're very good, you're very honest, and
Um,
we feel you're also acting in our interest.
Yeah, well, I do a lot of these, you know, and
Yeah,
I want the thing to work, and I don't want to have to come back because
Absolutely.
there's a problem.
Absolutely.
And I didn't do the original design either, the one that's failing.
We're working on it on here.
Corey, you can just read.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we accept the waiver that's being requested to reduce the minimum setback to the abutting wells and locust well at 4 Summer Court. Douglas, Mass, contingent on a water test for the well for a baseline and a year from now.
Mhm. Are we gonna put any more stipulation on that, or just that's it, a year
It's-
from now and?
So in
test
here
from
it says
there?
recommended that the well be tested every 2 years.
Okay.
I don't know if 20 years out, if it still matters, so I would say,
Yeah, I think what Margaret said is, we'll
let's get a baseline,
get a
let's do another one,
baseline.
and then if
It seems like
homeowners
it's
want.
good,
Yeah,
We'll put those
Go
two
from
maybe
there.
can we put those two into the motion, and then
sure.
after that, I think the homeowners, if they wanna test
Yeah.
the wells, let them test the wells.
Absolutely, this is to their interest anyway.
Yeah.
And do I have a second on that?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the motion
Okay.
passes.
very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Margaret.
Okay.
Thanks,
Margaret. Yeah.
No dip tonight, huh? No dip tonight? I was supposed to call him too. Nothing. Send me an
Okay,
email.
next on the agenda, we have Hannah Rosenkrantz,
Yeah, haven't
single-use
seen you
plastic.
since I was teaching in Douglas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's not Miss, that's Corey.
Oh my gosh, it's been a long time.
Yeah, how's your brother?
He's good. He graduates this year.
Yeah, senior, he's with my son.
So my name is Hannah. I've lived in town all my life. I'm from Church Street.
Oh,
I graduated high school at BVT.
Did you?
I was the student president at Quinsigamond Community College for a little while.
Very
And
nice.
now I'm here to talk about plastics.
well, thank you, yeah.
And thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
So my friend advised me I should keep this short and sweet, so I don't want to take up too much of
It's
your time.
okay, take your time.
So, plastics production began in the 1960s. Now the problem is a lot of the plastics we use take over 400 years to degrade. So imagine this going further and further and further.
Did you say 400 years?
Yes, sir.
Holy.
Certain types.
Wow.
And so 40% of the plastics we currently have were manufactured within the last 15 years. So from about here forward. As you can see, it's kind of an exponential growth rate. And so, let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. If we continue production at this rate, we estimate that about 99 billion tons of plastic will end up in the environment in the next 7 years. Furthermore, there are a lot of health risks that accompany plastics. And so these are a couple of different types, and the ones that I want to focus on today are numbers 4 and number 6. So number 4 can take about 500 to 1,000 years to degrade in the environment. Number 6 is a lot better at 50. You can see that these are both sometimes recycled and difficult to recycle. If we look at these closer up, we can see some of the specific health risks. For many types of plastics, these are going to include cancers, problems with fertility, other metabolic diseases. And what happens when we're using them in, say, takeout containers, styrofoam containers, or coffee cups, is when you put hot foods in them, the toxins are much more likely to leach out and get into your body. And so what I'm asking, actually let me back up a second. Over 2/3 of the state's population currently has mandates in place that either ban plastic bags altogether or offer an alternative. Here in New England, you can see all the states in green which have banned them at a state level. What I'm asking is to ban all plastic and polystyrene takeout containers, to ban plastic bags, and to request, if not mandate, that we use a biodegradable alternative. And if you like, I have a summary of a law up in Vermont that passed that kind of outlines how they passed the legislation. So I'm sorry if
Thank
that was
you.
a little rushed. I tried to keep it short and
Thank
sweet
you.
for you. And then what that might look like.
Here, when you get Chinese food, and the lo mein is actually like melted part of the styrofoam at the bottom of it.
Yeah, yeah,
It grosses me
yeah,
out.
yeah.
It'd be nice to not
That's what
have-
adds the flavor.
It'd be nice to not have melted styrofoam on your lo mein.
It's coming anyway, you know, it's gonna be mandate with time, but those terms.
I'll play devil's advocate. Well, so has there been any discussion on the economic impact of the implementation of this?
So I've done a little bit of research, just out of curiosity, which is that it is more expensive to get biodegradable alternatives. I've seen in some places where they, I believe like Vermont, impose a 10 cents fee if you were to get a paper takeout bag. And what the state will actually do is put that money back into the economy and try to help those businesses to supplement that cost.
Something about putting the money back into the government. It kind of scares me.
Um, So I assume we don't have too many retailers in town that this would impact, but,
Not us.
what's that?
Not us in town.
Just maybe like the
Maybe a few.
gas, the family
Few,
convenience
yeah.
store.
A couple restaurants.
You know, this is, it really is a good idea. It's a great idea.
It is, I think we should ban all styrofoam altogether. I mean,
Yeah.
some plastics,
Yeah.
I think you're gonna have a hard time getting away from for.
But you know what,
They're
what
cheap.
bothers me about this type of thing is that, you know, there should be stages that we, in other words, you build to a certain, you know, say, you're gonna ban, all right, takeout type items, that type of thing, where take out food, that, and you wanna have biodegradable containers and that type of thing, great, but let's do it in a reasonable manner.
Yeah, I was
Not
thinking.
just a matter of
yeah.
shutting it down and.
Well, and also I think we should also get comment from some of the retail, or at least have the opportunity for comment.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
if they feel like they didn't get any
Mhm.
say in this, then it might go over not as
Right,
well as if there's some discussion.
Right.
If it's more expensive, we have to put this in the budget and plan for it, right?
So if it's something like a phased-in approach, or, you know,
And people.
see what the actual
people aren't-
impacts are
Yeah, people aren't
economically.
impacted as severely as, you know, just coming in and shutting it down and that type of thing. I've seen it too many times in my life where the government steps in and this is it and that's it, and you have to take whatever they say, and you have to consider, you know, the other side of it too.
So any surrounding towns are like implemented this program, or do you know?
I'm actually not familiar. All I do know is that 2/3 of Massachusetts towns have it.
Hey, do you know our town nurse, by the way?
I do actually.
No?
Do you work for the school?
No, I work for the
No,
town.
for the
I
town.
used to work for the school.
Yeah, yeah. So I didn't mean to interrupt you, but,
That's all right.
No, that's a very
Yeah.
useful information, and, you know, we know it's coming. We know there is a huge need for it,
Yeah.
but I think more research needs to be done
Mhm.
on our part. and-
Yeah, single-use plastics
yeah, I
should
mean,
drift away a little bit.
Mhm.
I would, I don't know, I mean, I'm in favor of the whole idea. I don't think you can just jump right into removing all plastics, but I don't think this is what this asks. I think this asks for certain types of plastics specifically.
right.
I'm against all styrofoam things, like, besides, it's cheap, but it's the worst thing out there, so.
Mhm.
I'm certainly in favor of banning styrofoam in town. That wouldn't be a bad thing at all.
No.
But I agree that we would need to get the food establishments in here to voice an opinion as to like,
I
you
think
know,
we should at least have an opportunity.
yeah, like what is the cost impact for them in terms of switching over to styrofoam? Now, not a lot of people use styrofoam anyways. I mean, I haven't
Maybe a
gotten,
project
besides
for
Chinese
our-
food, maybe I haven't gotten, and I think King Jade was the last one that used styrofoam. Even the other day, they didn't, I got King Jade, they didn't have styrofoam. I haven't gone to our Chinese place in a while, but
No, they didn't have styrofoam, Kindred.
no, they don't
Oh.
anymore, they used to, but, so I mean,
Good plastic.
yeah, and the grill uses plastic, right? I can't think of styrofoam there.
Now,
I think this should be put on the agenda though at some point. I think we need
Mhm.
to, I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea to jump on that
We may have
bandwagon.
someone who can help us to do the research, like from the grant money.
Yeah.
We are hiring 2 new people,
Mhm.
and one.
Oh, are they all done, the,
Yes,
No.
no, we are doing interviews
It's
right now.
more
No,
people.
More people,
Adding
additional
on.
2 people.
they're
Yes.
expanding.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, good.
And they're gonna be helping us with different projects in
Mhm.
our 8 towns.
Mm.
And this could be one of the projects. Do the research, you know, dig in more and
Yes, this would be a
For more
really good
funds
one.
and-
I mean, like the map said.
and costs and.
Yeah.
So when we talk to the establishments, we have something to present to them.
Yeah. I think we should,
And
We
we would
don't-
love to, have you involved
Yes.
with this.
We shouldn't be the
Sometimes,
last one
because you are the one
do
who
it.
started the discussion.
right, we,
so this was enacted by the members of the General Assembly. That's correct?
I'm not too familiar
Oh,
with
okay,
it.
okay, because it says Act Number 69, Conservation and Land Development.
Oh, yeah, this is just,
So this is from Vermont. I think.
Yeah.
yeah, it was this summer, yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, one of the things that stands out to me with this is the 10-cent bag. Believe it or not, and it's not the 10 cents that bothers me. It's the beginning of opening Pandora's box again with, paying more out, but we never know where the money really goes.
Yeah, I
Honestly,
wouldn't,
I wouldn't mind to pay.
Oh, I don't mind
In
paying.
Europe, you pay for the bags. No one gives you a plastic bag.
Yeah,
Most countries, you have to pay. You come with your own bag, or you pay for the
but
plastic
my
bag.
point is not the pay.
Mhm.
Believe me, it's not.
Just the giving back to the government. This is what you.
That's
talk
my,
about. Yes.
that's my problem.
yeah,
But
then
you know
I'd just make it for the store. It doesn't have to go back anywhere.
Yes, because they
Yeah.
are purchasing
Yeah.
The
the.
store gets them, if they
Yes.
wanna charge an extra 10 cents for the bag, then let them. If they don't, if they wanna charge 50 cents, whatever. I would say that, yeah, I think we should put this on the agenda, have those people work on it and get something drawn up. I mean, maybe we don't ban all plastics, but certainly
Maybe in
styrofoam
stages,
and,
right?
I mean, we like those
I
circle ones.
I just
We
think that,
use those.
I'm not necessarily against it, I just think that they should be part of this conversation.
They
And I
should
think
be.
it will go, it will be taken perhaps in a
Yes.
better way, that if they're involved in the conversation, then it's just no, then that might not go over so
Right,
well,
right.
so.
Yeah.
I think we might get less resistance if there's sort of either, we're
Involved
looking to
in
do
the
this within
process.
so many years, or this is what, X and Y, but not Z,
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a big thing to ask people to go, to get rid of styrofoam, and then within a couple of years, get rid of plastic bags, transition to paper bags, and then maybe after that, down the road, I mean, eventually this is gonna be a bigger thing, and we're not gonna even have a say at the town level. What it
It's
is.
coming. We know it's coming.
Yeah, so I mean, why be the last ones to
Mhm.
start getting the ball rolling in town? Might as well get something going now.
Mhm.
Would you like to continue, or
This is all I
pretty
have.
much it? Okay, no, that's fine. I didn't know if we had interrupted
perfect.
you.
Yes. So, just
Yeah, thank
please
you.
leave us your contact information. If we get some
Yeah.
more,
I
we'll be
have
ready
it.
to, oh, you have it,
Yeah.
yeah, to talk more about it. We'll love to,
Thank you
Have you
so
back.
much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for the
Very
presentation.
nice
Thank you, Anna.
presentation.
thank you. That was, yes, good point. Someone had to start this conversation.
Great.
Yeah, I think we should get those, so it's more than just,
Thank you, Hannah.
it's more than just them now, it's gonna,
And they won't be, they're health agents. This is gonna be,
More the other people who
Yeah.
we are hiring, because they are specific to the projects. Like if you have some project for the town, they can work with us.
Yeah.
They do the research, these are good people
yeah,
to help us with this.
I think we should have them look into that. and-
We are in the process of
Get the ball
interviewing
rolling or
right
something.
now.
Like I said, I think it's coming, because they're gonna ban more and more of that stuff. He's out.
Elena?
He's quite familiar with it.
I'm surprised, honestly.
Let me know if there's anything else I can.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming
Good
and
job.
talking to us.
Yeah, I think we should get the ball rolling on it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I mean, it's coming anyways,
Mhm.
let's not be the last ones to do it.
Like with mattresses, right? They're gonna surprise us like they did with the mattresses.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if we can get the businesses used to not using styrofoam on that level,
Windows, snow, no. I'm
No.
refused. Snow.
oh,
What'd she say?
Just open the window.
It's snowing out. Good.
Yeah.
Oh, just
No,
what
I'm
I
refusing.
wanted.
I'm not ready for that yet, yeah, I'm not ready for that
Gonna
yet.
make me cry.
Can we ban snow?
I second the motion.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, so let's get the ball rolling on that and see, maybe we can, get a little ahead of the curve on it.
Okay.
Not a bad idea.
Next on the agenda, we have transfer station discussion and tonnage.
do you wanna
Tonnages.
go over these?
Yeah, I do want to do those. Thank you.
There's one there.
Yeah. This is just the layout of the transfer station now. And the reason we're looking at this is because when I had a meeting with Kristen and Matt seemed to indicate that he wants to move forward with trying to get a couple of those compactors.
Yeah.
And my problem is the way the flow goes, and I've been looking at, the way the flow of traffic goes here, it works nice and smooth, or as smooth as we can get it, right now, because it does get a little congested down in this area down here, where all the containers are lined up, plastic, glass, cardboard.
Yeah.
It gets a little tight in there, but everybody seems to manage no problem. Now, if we add 2 containers, for the life of me, I've looked at this and I can't really come up with a good sound way of having the traffic go the way it does now, and adding those 2 containers. I know we're gonna be pulling out probably 2 or 3 containers just by adding those 2. So we'll probably gain a space or 2, maybe. But how does the traffic flow? That's my problem.
I don't think you can interrupt the traffic flow. I think, if anything, you add 2 packing units, sort of, so how many cardboard ones are there? 3?
3,
And
yeah.
how many plastics are there? 2?
2 and 1 glass.
So,
The one time, yeah.
so we would still have the metal, the tin.
Oh, yeah,
You'd still have the
Oh,
glass
that's up there.
container.
yeah.
So you still have those 2 containers. So
Yeah.
we're really replacing 5 for 2, right? But the packers take a little bit more space.
Yeah.
Do we have to interrupt it that much? Can we just, replace? So
Yeah, but
then there's
how-
also one here. This is
Yeah.
not spaced out totally right, but,
Right.
but if you replace and keep them, I don't know why they're drawn in diagonally. Can you draw them in straight and just replace 3
You
with
can
2?
draw them any way you want, as long as we could get traffic to flow through there.
What if it doesn't, and people just do what they do now? They walk up and they dump it in the packer, like they always do. Throw the cardboard in the packer, like they always do. Why do you have,
Suppose they could,
I
huh?
mean, you don't have to have a drive up to the
Oh, you're right,
packers.
you're right, actually.
People have been backing up for years and just walking their stuff over, that
Yeah.
doesn't have to change.
Yeah, yeah,
And then you can still put 1 right here, 1 right here, you eliminate those 3 for 2,
yeah,
and you still have space for the other 2 over there.
yes,
And people
yes.
can just back up like
Yeah, you're right,
they've been doing it for 30 years now.
you're right.
We don't have to start driving around because then what are they, like you
Yeah,
say, how are they
yeah.
gonna drive? I got cardboard, let me drive over here, and then
Yeah,
plastic,
yeah, yeah.
drive over here, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
tins,
That's
let me
true.
back up over
That's true,
here.
and that keeps the flow of traffic.
Just keep it the exact
That's why you're
same,
the smart
Just-
guy here.
just replace it. Just replace a couple of them with,
We need you, Cory.
with-
We need you.
So what are you going, so is there gonna be like some kind of like line or something that's like, do not
same
try to-
exact as
Same
it
the
is
way it
now.
is, yeah, that makes so much sense.
Same as it is
What?
now, just
I couldn't-
replace 3 with 2.
I've been looking at this thing and I'm
You know?
see, I move this over here and this one
So
over there.
the compactors are gonna be for cardboard and,
Plastic.
And plastic only, yeah.
so there'll be 2 compactors and then
And then the
metal,
rest will be
glass.
regular. Yeah, we'll still have the big 40-yard metal one, but we'll have the small tin one for cans.
Right.
Yeah,
And glass here, right? With that little Boy Scout thingy we got going on.
Right.
And then the other 2 packers, just leave them right there near
that's
the gate
perfect. That's perfect.
and just
It's
replace them.
simple.
I know, I'll take credit for it though.
Not, yeah, I wouldn't change anything. I would keep it just like that.
Yeah, I don't think you would be able to get cars around it.
No, it's not
I don't
even
think
worth
we
all
can do
the
that.
tear up of all the grass and
No.
all the
Have
fence
to like
moving.
repave, like,
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. I'm looking at it, saying, oh, the cars go behind here and then that. But you're
Yeah,
right.
Just keep it going, just
You're
back
right.
up. Everybody's
Because the only
used to
thing we're
it.
doing is really the cardboard is a big thing and the
Right.
plastic. I mean,
We're replacing five containers with
Yeah.
2 containers,
Right.
essentially.
That's right.
Now, we might have an overflow. I think they talked about a possible cardboard overflow container or some,
Yeah.
but that's, either way, we're still replacing 5 with 2. So
we
even if
need
we
an
replace,
overflow for sure.
are they still gonna be facing the same? just-
Yeah, I would
Same way,
say
yeah,
do the
yeah.
exact
Just
same.
like he said,
Yeah,
back up to that point,
Yeah.
just
I
get out
wouldn't,
and
I wouldn't,
unload
I'm looking
your
at the
stuff.
diagonals, I wouldn't,
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that, I would,
No,
if,
just keep it
I would
straight.
keep it the way it is.
And you're replacing 3 with 2 essentially. And we're replacing 5 with 2, but we can
Right.
still have 2 extras there. There's plenty of room, so you can replace 3 with 2, and I think that would be enough room to walk and maintain and move around them.
But, yeah, because if you start introducing this, a diagonal setup or something, then people are gonna start thinking, oh, there is a difference, and I gotta change it, but if they're
Right.
still, you know, facing the same direction, then.
I'm so glad I thought of that.
And I would,
Brilliant.
I wouldn't have the 2, like, I would keep this one as an overflow, and maybe, like, so there's more than just 5 here. There's like 6 in a row here, and another
Yeah,
cardboard
there's
one over
1, 2,
here.
3 cardboard, there's plastic, glass, there's another one.
Yeah, and this is only showing 5.
Newspaper, that's
Yeah, but
it,
there's 2,
newspaper.
I think there's 2 cardboard, right? 2 cardboard, a newspaper,
I
a
think there
tin,
are 3.
a
There's two, I think
glass,
there's
Three.
three
and
cardboard.
2 plastics.
Yeah, but
right?
there's, there are 3 cardboard.
Oh, there's 3?
There's a weird one off to the side over
Yeah.
here too.
No, not, that's the, you mean the clothes thing?
No, there's a big, another one, well, sometimes, maybe there's 2. There's so many
I mean, I've got like every
containers.
side. I
So
think
the
it's-
only thing we have to really do is, in other words, we've got to get this out to bid.
Yeah, and we don't need that many, I mean,
So we need to do an assessment on,
space relations over there.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Are the compactor units will be longer than the other ones?
a little bit, there's quite a bit of space though.
So there's
behind
enough
there.
space behind to make it so they're still flush with each other, you
yeah.
think?
There's
there should
quite
be,
a bit of
yeah,
space.
I don't think it's going to take up any space the way I had planned it.
Yeah, I mean, they're a little bit, right, what does it add, 10 feet maybe, but there's a lot of space behind.
Now, what
it.
about, because I remember we talked about, how are they gonna activate the compactor though?
See the way, on the drawing here, see the way
Somebody-
there are 2 containers that are facing that way. I figured the traffic would flow through there, but no, there's no need for it.
So is somebody gonna have to be
Right.
stationed over here to be like
Oh, yeah.
manually pushing it, or how's that?
Well, keeping control of it, for sure.
Right, I mean, if we have to, we can make one of those, you know, like the kids wait for the buses
Yeah, like a
on the
dog-
side of the road, like
house.
small little,
Yeah, a little hut, but they've got that shed up there.
yeah. But if somebody has to stand down there the whole day or something, I mean, they
Yeah, but
can,
they have a little heater and,
yeah,
whatever.
they're pretty
Yeah, but-
comfortable up top.
I think there's a shed down there.
Yeah, there is a
Yeah.
shed
Oh,
down
there is?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
bottom
yeah.
of a hill.
So if
Probably
there's a
just-
spot they can stand and maintain and hang
Probably
out.
just put another little window there too, in that
Right.
shed.
Right, and
Nothing
then,
to do in that.
it would almost help us, make sure that somebody's always
Yeah.
down there,
Yeah.
wouldn't it?
Yeah,
They wouldn't have,
It's
we'd have to
true.
have
And I've
one
been
up
down
top,
there on
one.
some Saturdays, it gets busy down on that recycle
oh,
side.
yes, it does, yeah, yeah.
No, so I wouldn't even change it, I would have it maintain the flow as it is. People are used to waiting, they're used to that.
Right.
And if they don't wanna go then, I mean, it's never that busy, 3:30 or 3 o'clock on a Tuesday or something.
That was really the biggest issue in this, and I think all of us, not Corey, because he's, but I think all of us were thinking in terms of having to adjust
Right
these
around it.
containers to
Change a
make
lot.
it work. You came out with it and it was perfect.
Glad I could
So-
help. All right.
You did a great,
Thank you.
Corey, we need you, you know that.
I wonder how that
We're
animal
never gonna let you
regulation we
go.
started doing over the summer was
I
going.
know, yeah.
We're never gonna let you go, Corey. Never.
Here for a while, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Once a month.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Bob. Compliment.
No, thank
I
you,
appreciate it.
thank you. I guess the only other thing I want to add to this is, we've got to, like I said, we need to do an assessment, so basically what we're going to be doing is, I'm asking for your input, actually. We have electrical going down there, trenching. I think this is something that the town can do.
Yeah,
I don't think this is something that I think we can do this without putting it out to bid. I think the town highway department
can handle.
might have to hire an electrician to
Yeah.
come in and do that.
You think, can we daisy them right off of the existing bins that are there? Is there enough voltage on the current packers to,
I don't think so. I would.
we have to run a whole new line
I
from?
think even the switching, some of the switching that we have now
Really?
might have to be upgraded and.
It's just getting, that system's just getting old, so.
Yeah, yeah, but, I mean, we can do a separate assessment on the electrical, have, some
Yeah.
input on the electrical. But really, the trenching, repaving, I don't see why we have to get anybody from the outside.
No, and that's the big one, the electrical is the big one, right? I mean,
Yeah,
the
that would be,
work
yeah.
behind it, but that's the big one, it's the electrical. And once you have all
Yeah.
the electrical there, then it's just
Yeah.
pouring a pad and having them place the packer in it.
Yeah,
Now, we want to make sure that when we're ready to do that, we have the company that we probably want to run with for a little bit, install their packer. We don't want to have to do
no,
the bid process, you know?
no. It'd be nice if we could avoid that, yeah,
Yeah, get a good 3-year contract with somebody and,
yeah. That's what we really need to do.
yeah, nothing is 1 year. Only.
Okay, I'll present this much of it to Matt anyway, and we'll go from there, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, that's what we're gonna do, you know? I mean, we've been talking about it for a long time. I think
I know, and
it's gonna be a good move. I mean, I think we're gonna save trips over the road like crazy.
I think so, yeah,
And in the course of a few years, it's gonna pay for itself, and
yeah. No, we've been getting,
plus it's better for the environment.
they've been
It's better
good to
all around.
us, I mean, to a certain extent, they're very reasonable, that you can work with them,
Yeah,
but we don't know where we're going with this.
right.
Every year, it's like a struggle, well, here we go again, we gotta get there,
We need a good 3-year one. We
Yeah,
need to get on
yeah.
it this year and get that done.
Okay. So tonnage, right?
Oh, A is killing it, huh? B
Yeah,
had a couple rough ones, but A is killing it.
they're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
I have to say, oh, by the way, Dick is in the hospital.
Oh, yes?
Yeah,
Come
he's
on.
been in the hospital.
Oh,
Oh, I'll have to message him. Hope he's all
Yeah,
right.
I hope he's all right too. I just found out. He's been there for 2 days. I think in Providence, that's where he goes. He goes to Providence.
oh, Dick,
Yeah, Dick Belanger,
oh, Belanger,
yeah.
yeah.
You know that.
No,
Oh.
I knew he was going for a test.
Yeah, yeah, they kept him.
Oh,
So I hope it's not too serious.
no.
That's not the,
I did not know that.
No,
is that our new hire?
no, Dick has been there for years.
Yeah, that's what I thought we were talking about.
I think my Dick's gonna.
Oh, no. I don't know where Dick is, yeah.
So we have the per diem person to fill in,
Yes,
which is good.
yes, yeah. That
And I
was
did call the other person.
Good thinking ahead.
Yeah, I did call the other person to see if they were looking for another per diem. But I didn't get a call back yet.
Yeah. Well, we probably have to do some interviews again,
Maybe not.
you know?
We have a list.
Yeah, okay.
We can dive into that list.
Yeah,
We had a couple runners up.
yeah.
The last one, I felt like we went through a book, pick out 2 of them. So
I know, we had a lot.
I know.
Yeah.
could probably call a
I
couple
put
of
together
those
your
people back.
2 favorites and made a list.
Right, so we have a couple people we can call
Yeah.
back if we need
Yeah.
to. Man, I hope that's all right.
Yeah, I hope so too. He's a tough one to replace because he pretty
Yeah.
much, he knows everything that goes on up there.
Yeah, the ins and outs, he's got it down pat. Nobody else has been there that long.
You know? Yeah, so all the tonnage looks good. Looks great, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
So we have that bin up there for textiles.
Oh,
It's been up there forever. It's a charity.
Mhm.
We may end up with $25 a year from it. We're approached by this bin, it's a little bin, it's like 4 feet
Wow.
Mhm.
diameter. And they'll pay us $600 a year to have 1 bin. And if we put 2 bins, $600 each a year,
Hmm.
just to have the bins there. And they'll pick it up, they're open 7 days a week.
1,200?
Yeah.
Really?
I think that's worth it.
So,
So, yeah. Yeah, somebody's gonna pay us to put it
It's,
in there.
uh,
for
We
people
need
to
1,200
leave.
is free money.
Yeah.
We already have a closed bin there that
Yeah.
doesn't pay us to
yeah,
have
we
it
need
there?
to have one there. State requires it.
Oh.
That's even better.
They said
Well,
they
they put 3. I'm just kidding.
How many do they want?
just line
Just
all
line
out
them
the
up.
perimeter with them.
Yeah.
Do we have 25?
Another great idea.
I'll be here all week.
Yeah, so if that's something,
That sounds
I
like it
mean-
makes sense. I mean, rather than that giant one.
Yeah, what is it for profit?
Yeah.
What was the?
that's a
the
very good
details on it?
question. I just heard $600.
Stop asking questions, yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a business there.
Yeah.
If we can
Is it like
Bin
a-
do it.
incentives, they're called,
Bin
bin
incentives.
incentives.
Yeah, we can do
I
it.
wonder if it's some kind of like,
Be a business. yeah.
like a secondhand,
It says
Clothing.
donation bin,
yeah, but,
I
okay.
don't know. Most of them are usually for recycling, so I don't
Mm.
know. I think this is the exact same thing we have there,
Well,
which is recycling. So you can
Again.
throw dirty things in there and rip things. It doesn't have to be something somebody's gonna wear.
No, they go through it later.
Yeah.
so, again, to play devil's advocate, if this is a for-profit, you know, is it something that we can
Legally.
do, you know, where it's sort of like advertise or allowing?
Well,
for-
we're not selling any product or anything, we're not doing
Just
that.
renting.
Right, but what happens if somebody else says, oh, I want you to put my bin there, why do you let?
Because we
How
like
much
them
would it
better
pay
than
me?
you.
Right, right. Are you gonna pay us $800 a bin? Or
Yeah, now we start working the numbers.
$650,
Yeah.
$750.
How much we'll make on it, right?
If we can get approval to have somebody pay us to put a clothing bin there rather than the required free one that we have to put there anyways, then I would say,
And if it
Makes
came
sense.
to that, well, okay, we stop doing it.
if we can do it legally, then I'd say do it.
Right.
If it's a,
So according to their website, that they are a business and they give a portion of our earnings back to a variety of churches and charities, so it would seem to me that they're
Yeah.
a profit business.
Yeah.
and
most of
that
those
they-
are profit business.
Yeah. Just,
They are.
I'm just,
Like,
wanna
what's
make
the
sure
one
we
that
don't-
drives around all the planet?
There's a
Earth
few
or
by the
planet
schools.
something.
I'm
Yeah.
always bringing my stuff there.
Yep, there's one at St. Dennis that's always loaded.
So this
They
isn't
drive by all the
for,
time.
it's not for donating your clothes to somebody. It's
No,
for
it's-
recycling them and
Yeah.
then turning that into,
Yep, my nephew's father ran one of those companies
Yeah.
for a few years too, where he had bins and drove around and picked them all up and sorted them and then sold them to a third party, and a lot of them went overseas
yeah,
somewhere.
a lot
is
go
it something we
overseas.
should run by, do we have a town solicitor? Just
Town lawyer.
town lawyer?
Probably should run it by him, maybe before we give it out.
Yeah, I just, you know, do our due diligence, just
It's
ask
not
the
a bad
question. and
idea.
then-
Yeah, just to
Share
make
the
sure
email
we're not
with them
breaking
and
any
see.
rules.
Can even run it by Matt would.
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah, he might not too.
I just think that, you know, rather than, you know, oops.
Yeah. That's a good idea, if we can get paid for doing something that we already do.
Yes, I mean,
Absolutely.
I'm in favor of it as long as it
Right.
is appropriate.
Right, we're not gonna get slapped for it. Yep. Yeah, we'll have to talk to somebody and then make a motion next
And now that I've buried my agenda,
Any more information before we can?
Should I'm taking one for the
Alright,
I said like,
Yeah, tonnages were great.
everything else.
Did we already do tire day, Bob?
We did,
Yes.
Tire Days
Yeah.
over.
yes.
How'd that
I,
go?
we collected $1,072. They have to count the tires tomorrow, so that I can call Bob's Tire. I don't know what they're gonna charge us, depending on how much there is.
Yeah.
So,
It's good, it's a success though, if they have.
yeah,
The big success is that they're off the road.
Right,
you know?
And he had it out in the forest.
Yeah.
right.
yeah, that's the huge thing, right? They didn't become part of the landscape.
And now people ask, when's Tire Day, you know?
Yeah.
So it works. We're not making a killing at it, but it works.
We don't have to, right? It's a
No.
public service.
Yeah.
Good.
Hey, folks, Tire Day, public health nurse.
So end of October, Kristen and I have attended the 2.5 days MHOA conference in the Cape.
Uh-huh.
And we attended all the public health sessions, which were like this. And
Wow.
it was our first time going to that conference, and no regrets.
No,
We
put
have
some,
learned.
look at that packet.
Yeah, it's like interesting subject, you know.
Yeah.
We have learned so much. There were like practice sessions, like some exercises we
Was
took
very
part,
good.
like Friday morning, which was amazing. We met so many different people from different board of healths,
That's
like
great,
from
yeah.
Massachusetts. It was so nice, like there was so many people speaking, like we just knew them, just seeing their names on the paper,
Yeah.
or in emails, and putting the names with the faces,
Mhm.
like from the
Mhm.
DPH,
Hmm.
people, like many from the public health department, so it was really good. There was a commissioner speaking, like
Mhm.
people,
Mm.
the state epidemiologist, Dr. Brown was there,
Mhm.
which we see her at the conferences since the beginning of COVID every Tuesday.
Hmm.
So it was nice to, like, really had a good time. And besides, we were just right on the ocean. Our balconies were facing the ocean.
Background means everything.
Yeah.
So that was a huge plus. So we like that. On the November 3rd, there was a COVID-19 clinic at the Douglas Elementary School.
Mhm.
So it was through the state contracted vendor.
Mhm.
I don't know how many people showed up because when I went, they were just setting up everything. So, but I'm still waiting for the information from
What,
them.
did you get any information on the vaccine? I'm not gonna say this correctly, but it's MDS, or what do they call it? It's an acronym for,
MDV, multi-dose vial?
it's, the S is at the end. It's a vaccination for I'm not doing it
Yeah,
right.
so if you give me more information, I can,
I will, I'll get
because right
that.
now I don't recall it.
Maybe it's MCS or CDS or something.
When you have
I
more,
can't-
like,
yeah.
information, just, I'll be happy
There are
to take a
three
look.
vaccinations right now. There's the flu, of course,
Mhm.
and then there's COVID booster, another booster.
Oh, RSV?
That's
RSV.
it.
Oh, yes,
Oh,
respiratory,
See,
yes.
I'm getting
Yeah.
all
Yes,
this.
yeah.
Okay. Was there any talk about that?
I haven't heard, just, because this is more, affect more like younger, it's more than just to like young kids, babies,
And older.
Elderly
Yeah.
people with suppressed immune system. It's not very common, like.
Well, I heard that, people over 70 should be looking at
People with
that.
asthma also.
Asthma, yes, yeah.
So also last week we have attended the FEP meeting and we were happy to see that our request was approved. We have requested some shelves for our EDS storage room because we have some boxes on the floor and we have room to put more shelves.
Mhm.
And we have requested 3 large shelves which is cost over $1,000 and they
Mhm.
okay. So we approved for it and we'll be waiting for them to ship them here. So that was, we were happy with this because this is something what we
Mhm.
will use. We need it, there is room for those shelves and
Right.
we will have to, when they come, we're gonna reorganize the storage room. And another thing, the sharp collection program is going well. We have people bringing sharps really like almost every week someone comes.
Mm.
And people really like the free, empty, new sharp containers. Thank
Yeah.
you, Dave.
Yeah.
Even recently I was telling
They fell off the truck.
Thank you.
Chris, we can take more because people take
Thank you
them.
for following that truck.
Yeah. Well, the truck's gone.
Thanks, God.
Yeah, so people really like that, and we get more and more, and more people is being aware of the program.
Mhm.
So even last week we had some people bringing large containers
Mhm.
with the sharps, and they like that they can take empty one and bring it back when it's full. So, and we had just had a pickup. It was 3 boxes, I think, right? 2 or 3 boxes.
Yeah,
They took 3
Yeah.
big boxes
Hmm.
were picked up
Nice.
last week. So we have to pay for that, but we can use the opioids settlement money from the grant. So
Mhm.
So do they reuse those sharp containers? The companies, do they like dump them out and reuse them, or do they just burn,
They incinerate.
incinerate the whole thing?
Oh, yeah.
Altogether?
Mhm.
so that's all. What's Kristen, did I
Okay.
miss anything?
Speaking of plastics.
Yeah,
Oh, no, you don't even wanna do that.
Oh, yes, thank you. So, and also we have got, thank you, free COVID tests because we had some, we are almost running out, and we didn't expect to get any more because we are not an emergency. But state has provided some, so we got several boxes of new COVID tests, which will last
Several
us.
boxes,
Yes,
yeah.
but I contacted the schools. I asked them, like, do you need any? The fire department, the police department, the library. So the fire department requested some, the schools requested some, the library requested some. So I took the count, and we even today we didn't take enough last Thursday, so I went to Charlton to pick up some more today. So I brought another 7 boxes. So I left at the fire department, schools, and so that's, it's free, and I know the nurses like to have them. And people, even library contacted us asking for some more because people were asking for the tests at the library. So that's another thing we are doing for the
Excellent.
residents, so they have access to the tests, those who want.
Even though we're not technically in the emergency anymore, it's no longer covered by insurance, like it's required to be, so.
And
we
like
need
we
them.
put out every week more because people take them. People take them.
That's great.
Okay, are we all set there?
Mhm.
Okay. We have health inspector. Actually, it's been quiet, hasn't it? I hope.
Yeah, I mean, they're mostly doing,
We're still at apartment, the
yeah,
condo.
kind of, yeah, yeah.
Right. But nothing has really transpired over the
Not really.
last few
No.
weeks.
A lot of food inspections
Yeah, a lot of
happening.
food
Yeah, they're trying to get their second one.
How about the Chinese place that Dave likes?
Yep, we'll have to revisit that.
Oh,
Because I think we gave them 3 months, and then we're gonna see how they did. So,
Were you
but
involved
we should
in
invite
that?
them here to have that
Well, so I
conversation.
remember reading the last report, which was a lot better.
Yeah.
And we had sent around an email saying we thought that was maybe a good thing to be encouraging
Yeah.
on that front. I don't know, has there been another?
I don't know if there's been another report, but it's that time now where we can make a decision. Do we keep going? Because I think we gave them a deadline.
Okay.
Like, we'll revisit this.
Right.
It's about that time to revisit it. So, but we should probably invite them for that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we should make another meeting for that.
Well, we can,
Yeah.
we can.
Or I don't think there's been another report since that one I saw.
Well, the last report that I remember reading
They're doing better.
was better.
Yeah.
Was much better,
Yeah.
actually.
Well, it's like educating them from, not even being in this business, it seems, that to where they are now. I guess there is an improvement.
Dan's gonna be here Thursday, so
Oh, yeah.
I'll,
Yeah.
if he wants to go take a peek and. see.
That would be good.
Yeah.
Well, as long as everything is, good,
Yeah.
Right.
then I would say maybe we should invite them to the next meeting and
Yeah.
waive them from
Yeah.
further activities and just hope that they continue, with the statement that, we hope that this continues on this path and we're,
Right.
you have to keep going this way. You can't just go,
Yeah,
okay,
you
well,
have
now
to-
that's over.
You have to somewhat encourage them.
Right.
To do the right thing. Really. Okay, any other questions on that? We have bills and warrants, and I signed them, so I guess they're okay.
we paid them.
If I have the power of signature here. Okay, we have open session here for any topics that we may have to discuss.
I met with the high school principal, Mr. Ringett.
Oh, yeah.
He signed a MOU on the use of the high school for the EDS site, which is mostly pro forma, but had a conversation with him. He was familiar with that program from his time in, I think he's at Bridgewater or East Bridgewater. So he's familiar with it, and he's fully on board if we want to do a drill in the next year. I know we had just done the COVID clinic on November 3rd. And perhaps we want to do it after school is out, where we do something, and/or we do something for next fall using that model, or maybe both. So I think we could have some discussion on that, maybe out of this session, but we're starting to make some progress on the EDS front. I'm supposed to be doing a presentation to the fire department at some point in the near future. We were scheduled for end of October.
So how does a drill work? How does that work?
Yeah, so there's really kind of two different types for this. Well, there's a bunch of different types, but for what I'm talking about, we can do one without any. We did one in May where we just kind of, it was more like a walkthrough. This would be slightly above that, which would be like setting up and going through all the, placing the signage, where would the stations be set up, having all the equipment there, without any people, or with just maybe perhaps some volunteers. And then sort of the next level beyond that would be actually having the public come in and using the model of the EDS plan to provide either seasonal flu or COVID or both, or any other vaccines, or we don't even have to use vaccines. We could do some kind of distribution of something that that people give out. But that, I would say, we're a little bit off from that. I think we need to do a little bit more on the setting up and ensuring we have enough people to logistically manage it, and also that understand all the pieces of what goes into it. So I think we're a little bit further out from having town, residents come in and receive a vaccine or receive something using that model.
And now we are being encouraged to use the MRC
Yeah.
volunteers, right under the.
Thank you for meeting with the principal.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, no, we're making progress, I think. And yeah, so I saw the email about the MRC. So
They are willing to come and.
yeah. So maybe
Be
we
part
can
of it, yeah.
we can reach out and have a discussion with them about doing a drill that doesn't involve actual distribution to the public this year, and then.
So we are with the Greater Grafton MRC.
Yeah.
We used to be in Worcester, but Worcester is like big, so we
Yeah.
are with.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw the email from was Lisa.
I think it was Jamie.
Yeah,
Jamie.
but it was
Yes.
from somebody else. Yeah.
Yes, from Jamie.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's where that is.
Great.
And I know
That's super.
I know the summer kind of got away from us with got away from me anyway on the trailer. We got us to move some stuff into it.
I did move some, like we did move over the summer, like whatever I caught, like the biggest
Yeah.
equipment. For the winter, got a couple of the snow, I'm gonna open up. I'll see tomorrow maybe and see if I can transfer something else. But we cannot transfer like paper goods, so that's why I need the shelves
Yeah.
to keep the.
Yeah, the stuff that needs to stay dry,
needs to
keep
be
it dry.
on
Yeah.
the shelf, so that's why I need those shelves too.
Well, I think I think you have some stanchions in there. There's some
Yes.
things in there that can definitely go onto the
Tables
trailer.
went, like
Yep.
that. Big pop-up tents.
Yep.
I took it there.
Yep.
Hoping they are gonna get moldy over the winter, but we have to check for any leakage. I have to go and open up and see if it's not leaking
Yep.
anywhere.
Okay, well, again, thank you, Dave, for meeting with the principal. That was great. Okay, do we have any, go ahead.
I have one more. I spoke to Bruce about the landfill,
Oh,
the water.
the water issue.
Yeah, so he did end up contacting a couple of surveyors. Got two prices, 4,800 for one, 4,400 for another, just for the surveying, which we can get that money. We'll have to go to a finance meeting on the 12th and ask for it, but it was something that we can get because it's something that's unforeseen. And
Yeah,
the rest of the money, I don't know what's gonna cost after all this is done, but that will have to wait till town meeting.
that's unbelievable.
So,
Remind me, is this to regrade it or something, or to?
so right now they're surveying to find out what they're gonna do.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
they can't drive on it.
Yeah.
or-
Okay.
All because of that little ponding issue.
Well, because of testing too, I don't think.
More the ponding,
Can't just
because that's,
I know.
yeah.
throw some dirt and seed on it.
Well, we took
Yeah.
care of it a few years ago,
The thing is,
Just like,
and
hold
now
up long
we're,
enough.
Yeah.
Now we're paying the price. That hurts.
So, if anybody would like to join me at the finance meeting,
I think she would.
she'll probably be there anyways.
Yeah, I'll have to go, I guess.
Bruce will write something up exactly what, so we can explain it.
Great.
Well, that's something to look forward to, huh?
Yeah, yeah, always. Okay,
What are you gonna do?
so we have anything else to add to this? Okay, we just need another date for the
I
next
thought we had one.
meeting.
We were gonna, well,
This
we
time I
were, you know
remembered.
what? Did we? Because originally we weren't gonna meet.
Right, I thought, yeah, I
In
thought there
November.
was.
You're right, Dave, you are right. It was
I don't think-
December 11th.
December 11th?
December 11th? It's already in the middle of November.
I went through the search
Oh, she
The
is.
year is just flying by.
That day or?
a couple days before, but she's gonna be,
What's that?
I'll tell you after.
Oh,
Unless we skip December, well,
And it's gonna be
I
three
have-
after my
okay.
son's.
We can skip it if we have
No,
nothing
seven.
pressing.
well, we're gonna do something with Hot Walk.
Yeah, well, we could do a quick whatever. But you're gonna have to find out what's good for them as well.
It might have to be sooner, like, it
Well-
might have to be November,
If it is, it is. We can do that
It's the last
instead of a
Monday.
December meeting.
27th.
Yeah.
What about the
We can do
4th?
that
December
the-
4th?
I don't know when they, like, do they keep paying for this service, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, I have to,
We can do it the Monday after Thanksgiving. How's that? That work?
7th?
27?
I'll check with them, I'll just see if,
Yeah.
if not, we can push it.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay,
Yes.
then, all in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.